Ilya Samsonov speaks out on his rough start to the season, as well as Joepsh Woll receives high praise from a teammate, and Nick Robertson is on a heater to start the year down in the AHL. We'll break all this down for you coming up on this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But before we get into that, we just want to say, if you're one of the thousands of people watching that aren't subscribed, go down below, smash that subscribe button, because me and Mark will be here all season long, keeping you up to date on what's happening around the NHL. But with that said, let's go right into the first topic of the video here, and that is Nick Robertson is on a heater. And as we take a look at a tweet here from Kyle Cushman, he says Nick Robertson converted on a sweet feed from Nick Abersuazi for a power play goal in Sunday's 4-2 win against the Charlotte Checkers. And so far through the start of the AHL season, Nick Robertson in 4 games played, he has 3 goals, 6 points, 15 shots on goal. And if you watch us a lot here, you know that me and Mark are really high on Nick Robertson. We really do think that he will make the jump up to the NHL at some point this season. And just seeing him have such a hot start down there with the Marlies, it just leads to such great success for him, great development, and I think we'll see him up in the Leafs at some point this season.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I think with Robertson, we kind of see this lineup filling itself out with Kampf moving up, Holmberg looking good on the fourth. So I think Robertson's the type of guy we don't see until maybe an injury happens to the Leafs, or if you see a guy like maybe Holmberg gets sent back down and you slide Domi over. But I think it's more of the route until we see an injury, we won't see him up. But he's playing phenomenal in the AHL. You see he's lighting it up, he's holding his own. And the biggest thing is he is staying healthy. I know it's just 4 games in, but the big thing with this is if he can consistently stay in the lineup for, say, 20, 25 games, it'd be huge for him at this point. Just a guy that's been kind of struggling. And we're also seeing a lot of media attention of people in the media just talking about maybe this is a guy where they're moving out. There's a lot of mock trades. And there's a little bit of rumors floating around that maybe this is a guy that we're going to end up shipping out for a bigger piece. If that's a defenseman, maybe a depth, the middle six forward. No one knows at this moment. So Robertson's definitely a name to keep an eye on. I do think we see him in the lineup sooner rather than later. It's just a matter of where he fits and how this all kind of unfolds.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep you guys up to date with whatever happens surrounding Nick Robertson. But right now, we know that he has that NHL-ready shot. Obviously, he's been up with the Leafs. He's proved that he can produce in the NHL, and now he's having a hot start to the season, producing down in the AHL, continuing his development, and I'm sure we're going to see him very soon up with the Leafs. But with that said, let's get right into the second topic of the video here, and that is Samsonov Speaks Out. And as we take a look at a quote here from Samsonov, he says, "I need to stay positive and keep working hard in practice. Sometimes you have a bad situation. Most important is that you are learning from it." And obviously, this is the right mindset to have as a goaltender. I know a lot of goaltenders deal with a lot of stuff mentally because I know a lot of the losses sometimes get thrown back on the goaltenders when it shouldn't be the case, in my opinion. I think Samsonov is a great goaltender, and just hearing this coming from him that he's working hard, learning from it, trying to get back to that prime Ilya Samsonov that we know, it's just great to hear, Mark.
Yeah, that's the big thing. We've seen last season and from the start to almost the end that Samsonov was incredible. I think he had a 920 something save percentage. He looked great. He was a brick wall back there. The start of the season hasn't been incredible for the Leafs, not just from the goaltending of Samsonov, but just overall in the defense and the forwards. It's been a lot of new faces on this team. There's chemistry that needs to be built. Samsonov did get left out to dry a couple of times, so I wouldn't put this blame too much on him. It's just currently a goalie with a low confidence. So I could see the situation. Woll's going to get a couple starts in a row. Samsonov gets back in, the team starts gelling. He'll get his game back, and then we just continue to ride the season with the hottest hand between these two. I think we have phenomenal goalies between Samsonov, Woll, and Jones in the AHL that we haven't really talked about. So you look at this, I don't think there's anything to worry about. It's just a matter of Samsonov needs to get his footing, get everything straightened out, and I think he'll be an elite goalie for the Leafs once again.
Yeah, and definitely, like, I'm seeing a lot right now of everybody being so negative towards Samsonov. But, you know, it is the start of the season. He was coming back from a little bit of an injury there he was dealing with in preseason, so he's just trying to knock the rust off, get back to his game, and I really do think that we will see Samsonov start to pick it up and start to get those wins back, start to get that confidence back, and when he does, I think that just makes for big success for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But we're going to get to our next topic, which is on another Toronto goaltender, and that is Joepsh Woll receives high praise. And as we take a look at a quote here from Domi talking about Joepsh Woll, he says he really kind of reminds me of Carey Price in his demeanor. He's very calm and relaxed both on and off the ice. A big body and moves technically sound. I'm not a goalie coach by any means, but he's outstanding. And Mark, this is huge. This is such high praise from Domi to compare Joepsh Woll to one of the best goaltenders of our generation in Carey Price. And just hearing this about him just speaks volumes for the future of Joepsh Woll in Toronto and just as a goaltender in general.
Yeah, the big thing is you see Joseph Woll, he's one of these guys that no one really talks about that's just really calm, relaxed. I mean, I've recently read an article that he spent the summer walking through the Swiss Alps, just hanging out with goats, just getting his mind off things and just kind of focusing on the season coming. He looked great last year in the playoffs. I think when we lost the second round versus Florida, this wasn't on Woll at all. He looked outstanding. He came into a bad situation, stood his own, and as a rookie, that's quite impressive. The last guy we kind of seen do this was Jordan Binnington. He did win the cup and Woll never. But overall, I'm excited for Woll. I think he's our goalie of the future. Just a young age, a guy stepping up. We've seen him last game and the game tonight. I think overall he's going to end up stealing this crease. I've said from the start that I think we do end up starting the playoffs with Woll and net. I don't think anyone's going to be mad if this is a situation with his current play, but it'd be nice to see Woll kind of split the starts with Samsonov, quietly take over the net, and then just be the goalie of the future.
And like this is a huge comparison to Carey Price. Obviously, Carey Price was the reason Montreal was so successful over the last decade, and obviously now with him gone, Montreal is struggling as we can all see. But obviously, like we said, this guy has been one of the best goaltenders of our generation, and just being in the talks of a guy like that is huge. And like Carey Price is a guy who could go out there and steal games, and I think this is what Joepsh Woll has too. I think he can go out there and steal games. We've seen him come in the other night, down in that game, battle back, have a shutout, and get the guys to win in overtime. I think it's just huge. I think this guy is the goaltender of the future for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I really do think it starts this year. I said at the beginning of the season that at the end of the year, Joepsh Woll was going to be the starter in Toronto because this guy lit up the AHL last year, and I just expect him to light up the NHL again this year.
Yeah, that's the big thing. We've seen him progress through his entire career in juniors, up to the Marlies, up to the Leafs. He's almost dominated at every level. I know he had a couple injuries throughout his career, but the big thing is if he can stay healthy this entire year with the Leafs, get the games under his belt, and just progress his just overall a game, he looks outstanding. I think this is a guy that we could run. The cap hit he's on, I think, is less than 800,000. This guy's an absolute steal to have on this team, and I'm just excited for the future of what this guy brings.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Right now, if you're watching this right now, hop on the Woll hype train with me and Mark because we're really excited to see what this guy can do. And it all starts tonight when he faces off tonight in net, where we can't wait to see him tonight. I think he's going to have a great game. But we're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here, and that is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Flux. He says he's a new subscriber. He's only been around for a few videos, but he likes our positivity. He likes how we break it down, our optimism, and I just really appreciate seeing this. I think this is one of the best comments that I've read in a long time. I just shout out to you, Flux. It really means a lot to us because I know sometimes we do deal with a bit of negativity down there in the comment section, but when we see someone like you come in and just like our videos for being who we are, we really appreciate it, and we really appreciate your support. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, become a part of the Hat Trick HQ community. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. And also comment down below what your thoughts on the whole Toronto goaltending situation is right now. Let us know. Maybe you'll be featured on the next comment of the day. But if you enjoy the Leafs, make sure to check out this video popping up on your screen right now. I've been KC alongside my co-host Mark Pye. Keep your stick on the ice.